Hello, and good afternoon. Welcome to #Botsang, and it's a very chilly, Wednesday evening in the Republic of South Africa. Very cold. I would have loved to have made this video earlier on when the blue, the sun was shining, but it went out, so I didn't have a photographer. Nonetheless, don't be surprised that I'm sitting with bubbles here. This is a classic. They call it sparkling wine, some call it champagne. We'll get into that after. I've decided that once per week I am going to make a video, 10 minutes tops. I'll select a wine each day and I'll give wine tips. That's where I'm going to start today. The wine tip of today is never ever serve your red wine with a glass with droplets of water or rinsed. Clean your glass, dry it out, and serve your dry red wine with a dry glass. The reason you shouldn't do that is that, these lovers, these makers, these manufacturers, these farmers, these connoisseurs and sommeliers of wine, they've spent so many years taking out water, separating water from the grapes and wine to can get good wine. Anyway, now you come and you put water back into it and you're spoiling your wine. That's tip number one. Now, why am I having bubbles today? It's my daughter's birthday. I vowed that when she turns 35, I will drink a special bottle of wine, which will come to that later. But also, I'm not a bubbles person. I drink this stuff once in a while. I don't like bubbles. It actually gives me headaches. After 2 glasses, I'm sorted. Now today, when I have a glass of this in celebration of my sister's 35th birthday, and there's something special I'm going to do. I learned how to open a bottle of champagne with a sword. So don't be surprised when you look there, you see my katana is sitting there. That's a samurai sword. I'm going to use that sword to open this bottle of champagne. Normally you don't drink it because the spills of bottles may fall into the glass. For his purposes you don't want, but you can sieve it and drink it, or you can observe it. If you have opened it properly, then it's very easy to can see whether there's residuals of bottles that went inside the drink, and you don't want to risk, the apartheid murderers, they fed Robert Mangalis or Sobukwe trash bottles and killed him with it, and he said to the world he died of lung cancer while they killed him. So many would say there goes Botsang again with politics when we are talking wine. No, it's not politics. My shows are going to be revolutionary shows. Even if we talk of food or wine, I'm starting a revolution of black people taking over what has been proclaimed, I don't know by who. People have created an impression that wine is a white people's thing, is for the bourgeoisie, is for the rich and the elite. That's utter rubbish. That is nonsense. Because our forefathers made wine in a different format, not in a nice bottled format like this. And I'm not here to promote any company. I'm going to be using various bottles of wine from various sellers, from various staples, from various farms. We'll be engaging some of these companies because I want to do business. This is money. This is business. So there's no particular brand that I'm going to be promoting. So here's your bottle of champagne. I'm going to try and open it using my katana. If the bottle fails to open, I am not going to try for the second time. And I am going to remember the lessons that were given to me of how to open a bottle of wine. There is one way of doing it in a bottle. And that way, it's secret. I'm not going to tell you. There's my katana. The golden rule is it has to be stamped. So this is one of my collectors. It's stamped. Yes, I can do cut your head with it, but it's not a sharpened one because I don't have the license to keep a sharpened one in the house for this particular katana. And then in other ways, so I'm going to stand up now and try and remember and do what I was taught to do. I hope my teacher, who happens to be a white person, he called me to the side and said, "You look knowledgeable with your wines. Do you know how to do that?" And I said, "No, I don't. I want to learn." He showed me once, and I copped that bottle of champagne. It was not a katana, it was a stamped sword. And I hope I will be able to do it for the birthday of Matsiliso. I hope I'm on the right side of the bottle. I won't tell you which side, and I won't tell you what's the mark. All you need to do is to have the art of opening a bottle of champagne with a sword. What? It's an art. You do not have to rush. You have to have the skill, the tact. I did cock. Happy birthday, TV. There's evidence. It's here. Let's see this trophy. Very clean cut. Very dangerous. This is the fourth I have in the house. But this one belongs to CD for your 35th birthday. Now, Again, you must also learn how to hold the bottle of your wine, champagne. Stop touching this. This hole at the bottom was not made by mistake. So normally what you do is, the label faces at you. When you serve a person at land, you just show them the name or the brand of the label. You do not have to hold it in the neck or anything else. That's how you hold it. There's two types. There's two types of champagne glasses. This is what many will call a champagne saucer, and this is champagne fluid. I normally prefer the fluid. And I always tell people, your bottle must never ever come in contact with your glass. Happy birthday to CD. I don't know how many small bottles spilled into this champagne. Those who will have their bubbles, they will say I'm wasting. It's a nice group, I like it. The reason I do not prefer a champagne saucer, it is because a champagne or a sparkling wine, if you want to call it like that, it's full of bubbles. So the fluid keeps the bubbles inside the glass. The fluid is small, slim, very close up on top, while a saucer is wide open. There's nothing wrong with this. I've seen people in movies, black tie occasion, drinking champagne from the saucer. I don't know if Iti Milling has had champagne from the saucer, but she will drink for CD. I'm not in a restaurant. Don't worry about me handling the bottle. So there's a difference. There's a champagne fluid. There's a champagne saucer. Both of them are glasses that are designed to drink sparkling wine or champagne, whatever you call it. By the way, it's called champagne because there's a region or an area in the southern part of France where they farm grapes, and these champagnes, these French champagnes, the Moët, the various, they come from particularly that province or that region in France. And the region itself is also called Champagne. And that's why it's called the champagne. But they are all sparkling wines. And as a matter of fact, South African sparkling wines have, in 3 occasions that I know of, won international awards, outclassing the French champagne. For example, our own Contrast many times has outclassed sparkling wines and champagnes on international fora or arenas. And therefore, you can go and argue with your white friends in Europe. I'm in South Africa and I'm going to push the South African way. And people may say wine is owned by whites in South Africa. We will come to that. We will come. They don't own only wine, they own the land. So they own the farms. So they own the wine, the brands, the labels. And this is what I'm revolutionizing, to say we have to move from that point of saying wine is for white people or the bourgeoisie. I'm not a bourgeoisie. People see then look at this Pan-Africanist and say because he's drinking bubbles or he's a lover of red wine and therefore he's a bourgeoisie, he betrayed the revolution. It's still the same. Even beer is manufactured by white people and is owned. The South African breweries and the Stellas and everybody else is owned by whites. So let us shift that and put it aside. We are here to impart knowledge. We are here to share knowledge. We are here to educate and inform each other. I'm done with bubbles. I'm done with the sparkling wines.